Hi guys, I've got heaps done this week and I'm just doing a very quick update before I head off to work just to show you what I've done in the last week, but I think I've accomplished a lot of things that I wanted to get done. The first thing being the church. Now I'll just say I haven't cleaned up or anything, so excuse the mess, there's stuff absolutely everywhere. But I've almost finished the church and sort of detailing some things. It's still drying, you can see the white glue. So I've got the obviously the car park here, which I haven't put lines on yet for the car parking, and the crossing here as well. What I've done here is I've actually just used sandpaper and just glued it down with PVA, stenciled it, cut it out, glued it down with PVA, and I think it's not a bad effect once you blend it in on the sides and that kind of thing. Then of course I've used the sandpaper for the car park in there as well. And the thing I like about it as well is if you want to scuff it up, you just grab your finger and just do a bit of scuffing like that. So it's yeah, I think it's quite a good effect. We'll see how it lasts a test of time, but we'll give it a shot. I've also put the light there as well, just for the car park, and the lich gate there. Wait for it to focus, which it's not focusing. There we go. I've got a wedding happening, so I've got over the way there, we've got a bit of a wedding there, and old lady sitting on the bench who's doesn't even care about the wedding. She's looking the other way. But I've got to get a few people there, sort of looking as well on cars and things like that. So just the initial details I've got down. I've put some vine in the corner of the church there, just anything to try and blend in the church to the landscape. Also got some vine over the fencing there and everything like that. And then they've got the obligatory graveyard there as well. The chap with his flowers, was obviously someone that he knew is in there. So yeah, so as I say, I've still got a bit of blending into the bottom of the fences and things, but the vines soften up where the actual fences meet. These are Will's kit fences, stone fencing, and the vines soften up where they meet. I'll then go over the top of the bricks again, the top of the fences again, and paint them, give them a quick once over. But all in all, I think that church scene has come up actually better than what I imagined it was going to be. I wanted it to be a real sort of central theme. I'm actually not a church person myself, but for some reason I just absolutely love churches on layout. So so I thought, oh well, that'll be the one that I'll put a lot of focus into. I've also put some vine growing up the side of the church there as well. So just little bits and bobs, and I've got some lights to add, of course, as well. I've put some more trees here. These are the knock trees, or notch trees, which I absolutely love. The pine trees are just brilliant when you come down to track level. They really do make a difference as to the look of the layout. They're really, really nice trees. If you haven't used those ones before, grab some and put them on your layout. They're really good. There's another low shot of the church there. I'll take you around the other side now. So I had the problems that a couple of people have had with the realistic water. I poured it, actually this is the 5th layer I think of the realistic water, and what happened was the first couple of layers, from where I had the PVA around the corner here that had dried, that had set, the realistic water actually sort of awakens the PVA back into liquid form and sucks it into the realistic water. So I had this cloudy white edge around here, which of course was set in stone then. I couldn't get rid of it. So what I did was I added a couple of extra layers of water, and then also added some foliage around the side of the banks there, and also some reeds and things like that. And now the water effect has come up okay, because you're not distracted by the white cloudiness, and also the depth of water. I'll add another layer to that too, I think. So it's just a look. It's just a pond anyway. So you know, I think that's come up not too bad. I've currently got the ocean sort of covered there, but I have put a very thin layer of realistic water. I didn't want to go overboard on that. Really thin layer of realistic water on there, just to give it a shine. And but yeah, I've covered that because I was going nuts on the static grass last night. I've got to say, if there was an intervention type meeting available for people addicted to static grass, I reckon I'd be there, because I reckon I'm half addicted to this stuff. I just absolutely love it. You put on your your scatter and your other scenery and things like that. When you put on the static grass, it just seems to bring everything alive and just give it that such a touch of realism. So yeah, I've just gotten to using it on everything lately. The other bit that I've worked on is this retaining wall. So I've got a little bit of fixing up to do because of the glue. I've only just done all this last night, so I haven't literally haven't come down to make sure that it's all okay, but and do my fixing up bits and bobs. But that's my retaining wall so far. I've decided to jut it out from the side here and do a small retaining wall. Bottom hasn't been blended in yet. Things haven't been tidied up, but you get the general idea. Basically what it is super quick card kits, brick wall paper. And I must say, I'm very impressed with it. It's only a thin paper, and I was worried about that. But it is extremely durable, and I was worried about using it for retaining walls. But when those pillars I made out of balsa wood and also the super quick paper, and those top stones are Metcalfe paving slabs, self-adhesive paving slabs. So I was very worried about it. What I did was, instead of using PVA, I used a spray adhesive. Which is brilliant stuff. I've used it for a few other things now. You spray the initial area once, and you let that go tacky for about a minute, 2 minutes, and then you spray the backing of the paper, let that go tacky for a couple of minutes, stick it on, and you don't get ripples, you don't get anything like that like you usually would with paper, especially gluing it with PVA. And it's just come up really well. I'm really happy about that. I didn't want to have one of those really fancy, expensive retaining walls because in Australia those notch walls and wheels, well, not so much wheels kits, but the pre-made notch walls and any retaining wall that looks really, really good is super, super expensive. And you know, when I've got this here, which is about 7 foot around, and I've got this here, which is 10 foot of retaining wall, the money's better spent on other things on the layout, so I just wanted to do something a little bit simple and a little bit cheap. But look, I think it's come up okay. I think it's a good compromise. And that little area that I've got there is still drying, but I think that's come up okay as well. A little bit more detail to add to that, trees, etc. and whatnot. And I'll quickly take you over to the other side. I've been working on the mountain around this side. Again, static grass. And I've got to retouch up the tunnel portals. I've put some extra plaster along the banks there and painted that. So that's come up quite well. Obviously not blended in with vines, bushes, trees, that kind of thing, but just the basics for the moment. So that's done there, which is good. So I can continue working on that and the bridge and the water under the bridge and the supports and whatnot, because that support won't be there. I'll change it for something else. And I also have done my engine shed concrete pad, which is still drying. I've given it a rough sand off, it's still drying. But yeah, happy with that. Thanks to all of you YouTubers for giving me ideas on how to do that in your past videos. But it seems to have worked a treat, and I'll get some appropriate paint to paint that up with and finish this scene and everything like that. So yeah, really happy with that. So I can finally put my Metcalfe engine shed on something. So that's there as well, and I think that's about it really. It doesn't seem like much, but yeah, it took me a long time to get all that stuff done. So until the next update, thanks again for watching, and keep posting your videos. They're fantastic, and yeah, I'll catch up with you all maybe next week. Have a good one. Cheers.